getting over a cold. Once that's better, I'm planning on doing a little explainer video for the builder bucket that went live and explain how people can stake their Morpheus to different projects that are coming up there. And congrats to a little spike in the Morpheus token yesterday. That was kind of fun last night. I think people are starting to recognize what we're doing and how cool it is. Probably riding a little bit of the Venice wave as well. But here, just to listen in on what's going on so I can do updates as I can. Also, I'll be at next week on Wednesday. I'll be at the Buildo Here conference here in Puerto Rico, and I'll be speaking on Morpheus again. I think I got like a 10-minute spot.
Awesome stuff, Luke. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks, Luke.
You've been really representing the Morpheus community strong in these conferences.
Thanks, man. I appreciate that. Actually, the talk I gave last week in Miami is up on the YouTube if anyone wants to see it. It's just a little 15-minute talk explaining what basically Morpheus is, and also talks about the More 20 model. So if anybody's listening in on this and you've got a tokenized project or project you want to tokenize, definitely check out the More 20 model. It's a way to do a fair launch that is really awesome. All the contracts are open source and audited. You can do something really creative and have different buckets where tokens get distributed to as they're minted, and pretty cool setup from a legal perspective. It's one of the cleanest things I've ever seen. I've talked to a couple lawyers about it. So definitely check out the More 20 model. Check out that talk if it interests you. And that's it for me.
Awesome. Sounds good. Can you guys hear me now?
Yeah, we got you, David.
Yep. So cool. Appreciate that quick update, Luke. And yeah, I really loved your talk in Miami. I thought that was awesome. And yeah, big congratulations to Venice, Eric, Tina, the whole team over there for what they did going live with their tokens. Just really amazing to see, and so cool to see sort of Morpheus at the heart of that with getting part of the airdrop and them being a builder subnet, by far the largest and most popular. So, you know, it just gives people an easy way, I think, to grok what's happening in the Morpheus ecosystem, what's getting built, and sort of like all the things that are coming up that are going to be similar like that, doing airdrops or different types of rewards to the community. So, but yeah, let's jump right into it. Kevin, you want to give us a quick update?
Yeah, I would love to. So builder subnets are kind of the big focus for me right now, just helping all the interested builders out there kind of get their subnets online. High level metrics, there's like a 64 subnets kind of in the Morpheus pipeline. 36 of them are live on the dashboard, and then there are like another 28 of them kind of actively working on it and trying to get to that point. So it's exciting to see folks start staking to the subnets that are up. I'm always available for builders, who want to understand some of the level 2 details. It's really simple to get the subnet online, which is great. It's just one transaction on Base or Arbitrum, and your subnet is available for folks to stake to it. So that's been my primary focus, and kind of will continue to be. Anyone who knows any builders who kind of want to take this opportunity to jump in on Morpheus, you know where to direct them. We have our Discord channels around the builder subnet set up that kind of Anton reorganized. Feel free to kind of make direct intros to me as well. Yeah, exciting time. I'm just laser focused on improving the onboarding experience for builder subnets. There's a lot of interest there.
Yeah, awesome, man. No, it seems to like really be catching on. And I want to say, heard a lot of great community feedback on ways to improve the dashboard. And so I've sent a lot of that feedback along to the developers. Clearly people want sort of a good view into which rewards are being offered and sort of what they get for staking to those different projects. So I think that's in process right now, where it'll include a link to the subnet's website, a description of what they're doing, but then also in the dashboard list, just an easy, I get a pro account, I get, potentially an airdrop, I get, these different categories of rewards are sort of starting to emerge. So really appreciate all the feedback from the community on how to make those improvements. So that's definitely in process right now. But I want to jump over to Ryan, because I know you're at Satoshi Roundtable in an undisclosed location somewhere in the world, and time is probably short. So would love to get the update from you, man.
Hey, yeah, thanks, David. Yeah, I just want to jump on and say hi real fast. I'm crazy jet lagged, but I, I'm surviving here. But yeah, things are going really well. We're working on getting stuff onboarded into Akash right now. That we've had some issues with the remote storage piece, but we're getting that wrapped up. So that's a big push right now for the Lumerin team is getting Akash deployed. We have one of the engineers playing around with the DeepSeek model to see if we want to onboard that model as one of the compute providers on the compute subnets. And then also working on a Morlord update to work on be able to stake and do all the different builders functionality through the Morlord dashboard. So just so we have options there. But that's a general synopsis of my world, and then obviously as Satoshi Roundtable, singing the praises of Morpheus. And the cool thing is, just about every conversation I've had so far where I mentioned Morpheus, like everyone's already heard of it. So it's out there. People know it, and people are constantly wanting updates and to hear what the latest and greatest is. So it's very cool.
That's awesome, Ryan. Thanks for representing the community there and sort of giving everybody a view into what's happening. So, but that's great. So I know you're probably pretty late there. So if you need to drop off, do your thing. But thanks for jumping on, man.
Cool, you got it. Yeah, thanks, guys.
So Kyle, you want to jump in next, man?
Sure. Yeah, on a similar topic, I'm working with some of the engineers on what Ryan was speaking to for the Akash implementation. We did get one of the subnets up and running and live with DeepSeek, the Llama 70 billion distill model. So that's live right now on the Morpheus compute router within a subnet. So anyone can go and interact. Yeah, those are really the two main things now, getting the Akash implementation live so that we can start really marketing the simplicity on creating a consumer or a provider through the router and doing all the fun marketing related stuff with that alongside documentation and guides and so on. So I think that's really a great next step for us, and will help us get to the scale that we'd like to.
That's awesome, man. No, I appreciate you pushing that forward. And yeah, I mean, Akash continues to be one of the fastest growing compute providers. So excited to see the integration moving forward there. So appreciate you and Ryan making that happen. But that's awesome. Cool. All right. Well, I think Bo, you want to jump in, man?
Yeah, hey everybody. So Week in Morpheus went out on Tuesday. This was a kind of emergency press release. Kevin, thank you for your help on that with the post on Twitter to outline the Venice airdrop. Just as a reminder, in general, don't click on any links in anything, including Week in Morpheus, unless if you're going directly to Week in Morpheus or it's coming directly from the Week in Morpheus Substack. There was some concern over someone potentially spoofing the email. So just keep an eye out for that. Separately, Next Brainpower should be coming out later today with a special guest, also the first video version. So doing our part to keep everyone updated on everything that's coming for those who maybe don't have time to keep up with all the social channels and would rather just listen to something instead. That's for you. On the integration side of things, one of the main focuses for us right now are the block explorers, or the chain explorers rather, Etherscan, Basescan, and ArbScan, trying to get the token, the name added, the logo added, all of the things to just make it, a little bit more obvious when someone lands on the More token that it is the correct project, they're doing the right thing. And then separately, continue conversations with exchanges. 1inch as an example, 0x as an example, are two that we're going after to try to get whitelisted here. So yeah, a lot of great stuff going on.
That's great, man. Appreciate you pushing that forward. Yeah, those integrations are key. And I hear from tons of people that they're seeing the Week in Morpheus emails, and that's like how the news is reaching them. So thanks for putting that on, and really been enjoying the podcast.
Absolutely.
Really,
Can I add one thing, David? Sorry to cut you
yeah,
off.
man. No, go
While
for
we're
it.
talking about it, as builders are registering, if you are a builder, get in touch with me and Kevin as well. I know Kevin's working on a builder spotlight piece to spotlight, what you're doing. And Kevin, please feel free to jump in and speak to this. I don't want to speak for you, but my understanding is that you're going to be publishing basically, this is what the builder does, this is what the reward is, kind of what they're all about. I want to also cover those on the podcast and some of those different like media outlets that we're working on. So get in touch with us, please, so we can highlight what you're working on, basically.
Yes, thank you for plugging that. Builder subnets that are registered, working with them to just kind of have a single slide that summarizes what their subnet is all about, and then how they're aligning incentives with more stakers. And that could be access to the pro tier of the API. That could be access to specific agents that your team is building. All kinds of ways subnets are aligning with stakers, and then we can get those teams on the podcast. We can do some AMAs on X, just kind of building that initial pipeline. And excited to collaborate with builders kind of on a rolling basis throughout the year.
Awesome. No, that's great. I'm glad there's sort of now like a clear way, create a subnet, express the value to people, and then, get highlighted to the community, go on the podcast, be part of the email blast, highlight what people are doing. So that's really great to see. Yeah. And there's just been like an explosion of projects reaching out, being like, hey, we've got, 500,000 users and we want to do an airdrop and we want to create a subnet. How does that work? Right. And so big credit to the open source developers, to the community, to Anton, to Swan, to all the people that have been working and delivering that experience. It's definitely paying off as far as like making it easier and easier for people to do that. And definitely still tons of improvements to go. But like even this alpha or beta, MVP that exists now is obviously very exciting to people and showing a lot of value. So that's really cool. Great. Well, we'd like to keep it short and sweet. Unless anybody here has questions, suggestions, other folks they want to talk to or highlight on the maintainer side.
Oh, yeah. Thanks, David. Chris here. Something that Anton flagged a little bit ago was a question that keeps popping up in the community regarding weights and how to get, how to go about getting weights and the value around how it's getting assessed in the community. It's something that we're in the process of working on rolling out. I think we've talked with Ryan, a revised process for developer onboarding. So that is currently in the works. I'd say that anybody that's out there who's building something, we've had some people who have reached out, John over at CoinCap, among others, who have a vision for what Morpheus needs to be able to go to the next level. And I think John's rolling out SaaS payment models with Morpheus staking, and there's a few cool things that people are looking at. Just understand, like as a coder, and if you're coming in as a developer wanting to earn wage in Morpheus, your competition is really, really stiff. So, I know people come in and they want to contribute something. You're competing against the entire Lumen community who's building up the compute node. John over at CoinCap, so the competition is very stiff, but the objective for all of the Morpheus maintainers is for Morpheus to go to the next level. So if you see something and you're uniquely qualified, you have the unique ability to build something in Morpheus that can integrate within Morpheus to do that, whether it's a payment model, the payment in the compute is one side, a developer dashboard, launch pads, all of those things. There will be a clear path on the coding weight side, but in the interim, what I would suggest is you're more than welcome to set up a builder subnet. And we're already seeing this right now, David. We've had some submittals over on the launchpad side where there are multiple parties that have ideas that could get built out. They're just going to start building. And people who build things and then bring them to Morpheus tend to get much higher traction within the community than people who say, "Hey, I have an idea for something. Let me write up an MRI. Sorry, let me write up an MRC." And kind of take the committee approach to it. The people who act and build things, like Swan came in and built some stuff before been asking. I know Kyle's been part of that. I would say I would suggest that if you want to be a coder and you want to be a developer within Morpheus, build something, get in touch with the MRI maintainer for for where it would fall. But in the interim, as you're doing that, don't hesitate. Reach out to Kevin. Kevin has direct line to all everybody within Morpheus. He can get you set up on the builder subnet. You can try and do it through the website, and then work your way into work your proposal, the thing that you're building into Morpheus over time. Don't try to wait until it's already. Don't try and wait to get a percentage of the issuance or a percentage of the coding weights without ever having contributed or built anything within the protocol. So, and then I think someone else said it before, but just understand that competition is always going up. So before the competition was someone writing an ID on an MRC. Now the competition is kind of launching, and just understand that it's constantly improving. So the ecosystem's constantly growing. It's building out. We want all the talent and all the people who are aligned that want to take it to the next level and want to see decentralized AI become a feature everybody sees over the past week. Power that decentralized and open source AI has against the centralized competitors and why it's so important. So anybody that is obsessed with that mission, you're welcome and will be welcomed warmly in the Morpheus community. So, but it is up to you to build that and to bring it into the ecosystem. So just want to leave that there.
If I could just highlight that a little bit, actually, because I've had friends of mine in this exact situation. Thank you, Christopher. Where they're like, "How do I get involved?" And they'll just go build something and then be like, "Look, I built something. So you're going to give me weights now?" And so I just really want to highlight that this is very much like other open source projects, where to get noticed, you do pull requests. You literally put something out there that is actually needed. There can be issues, for example, that can be tackled. Things that the community wants. I've been surprised with my involvement with the project where people have given me weights just because I'm just doing what I just see I want to do that would benefit the community. And then people say, "Hey, that's exactly what we needed. Here's some weights." So I just want to highlight that again. Be useful in an open source way. And I've noticed a little confusing for a lot of Web3 people who are used to committees and used to DAOs and used to I can just convince the right people and I'm going to start making money. And that's just kind of not how it works. Add value and you'll start getting some value. And it's unique, but I really like to see it work that way. So thank you, Christopher. I really appreciate you highlighting that.
Yep. 100%. Yeah. Just echo what Luke said.
I just want to give a big +1 to that. I think that's exactly kind of how it works and how it should work. And I think there's really great opportunity out there for people who can come to the table and execute, build something amazing and do well as a result of it.
Yep, 100%. So Morpheus cares about action and pull requests and code and building something, and talk is cheap, right? So there's no committees here. There's nobody, to play politics with. Just ship something and get rewarded. And I also want to emphasize and remind people, the maintainer is the decision maker. Everybody can have an opinion and everybody's welcome to throw around ideas, but ultimately this is atomic governance, right? The whole idea of Morpheus is the maintainer, like Kevin, just sprinkle him some holy water here. If he says it goes, right, for improvements to the reference for builders, right? Or Swan for more.org, or Kyle for onboarding compute. These maintainers, have the autonomy and authorization and the full backing of the community to go and make those judgment calls, right? So, like Luke said, it's different than most projects. There's no DAO, there's no politics. Maintainers can go and act, people can go and act, anybody can start a subnet and just get rewarded. So skip all the politics, get right into building what you want to build, ship it, and Morpheus has a strong tendency to recognize that value and reward it over time. So very important.
I wanted to highlight, David, you mentioned Anton. Anton's a perfect example. Last year when Morpheus launched, he is in the he's on the other side of the world, and there were many venture firms that reached out proposing to do community and Discord engagement, and I know you and I had to fend off many calls around proposals for weights, and people wanted to do different things, and Anton just came in. He just started shipping. He started doing it, and the quality of the work spoke for itself. And it was funny last year just to see venture firms come in. They have teams of people helping some well-known projects, and we've gotten lots of comments around the Morpheus Discord being better maintained than a lot of a lot of large projects. And it was Anton coming in, and we joked that it was the Anton bot, who had an army of 10 Anton agents, managing the Discord and managing the community. But that was a perfect example. Just came in, started shipping, started doing things, and now it's the Git book, it's a bunch of repos, and that's really what we like to see in Morpheus is people who come in, build things, ship, and we want to try and find those people and reward them well.
Yep. %. Very cool. Great. Anything else people want to highlight to other maintainers, support you need? Anything else you guys want to highlight? If nothing else is there, we'll go get to it. Appreciate you guys. Thanks for everything you do. And I'll catch you next week.
Thanks, David.
Thanks, everybody.